Joining me now from California, Republican Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, Congressman Darrell Issa. Congressman, thanks for joining us. Your governor there in California has certainly been watching what's been going on in Texas. Here's what he had to say about all this.
It's unprecedented, midterm, to call up 5 seats to do what they did. And so the consequence of that is we can't just think differently, we have to act differently, and that's exactly what the legislature just did. It's the first time in U.S. history that the voters will decide for themselves. Spare me any moral or false equivalency of what they're doing in Texas.
So voters are going to vote on a new map in California. Do you expect it to succeed? And what does it mean for Republicans like you who are representing California?
Well, thanks for having me on. And, the last words of my governor were, spare me the equivalency. Well, he's right. There's no equivalency. Our Constitution calls for an independent, nonpartisan commission, which did the job. He's trying to circumvent that, hoping to rile up lawyers and, in a deep blue state, take advantage of simply a voting advantage, majority against other minority rights. What's interesting about minority rights, though, is Texas is reacting to the fact that they were sued by the Biden administration for the last redistricting they did, and they are now trying to draw one that isn't, that meets these requirements of the very difficult to understand and define civil rights districts. You understand that if you draw too many minorities into a district, they say you're packing the district. If you don't draw enough, they say you're not allowing a Democrat, African-American, or Hispanic to win. And that's the reason Texas and Louisiana and other states have had a difficult time. So what does it do for us? Look, the governor and his legislature have drawn a district that lines that almost guarantee virtually no Republicans left in California, perhaps 4 or 5 out of 52 seats. It's the ultimate in crazy gerrymandering. And as a matter of fact, that long, very strange district that looks more like Michigan than a congressional district is the one they drew for me. Look, I'll win the district. I've done it before. That's not the point. The point is politicians have now drawn district for politicians in violation of our Constitution.
Back here in D.C., President Trump also says that he wants to spend $2 billion beautifying the District of Columbia. That's something that Congress is going to have to get involved. Do you think Republicans are going to support an additional $2 billion on making D.C. great again?
They will, and here's the reason. The fact is that the district was going the wrong direction. Crime was rampant. You had people putting boards on the front of every building so they wouldn't be vandalized or stolen from. And Trump has made it safe again almost overnight. He wants to return this nation's capital. You know, the residents of the capital choose to be in the nation's capital. The nation's capital belongs to all Americans, not to a mayor and a partisan, city council that wasn't even willing to take criminals off the street. The president has been, and now the next step would be to clean up the city appropriately. And by the way, the city has massive revenues, massive surpluses, and hasn't done their job.
The U.S. Attorney here, Jeanine Pirro, has said that she's hamstrung by laws that the D.C. Council has passed. She cannot prosecute anyone under 18 years of age for gun violations, for robbery, for car theft, for carjackings. Is that something that you think that Congress is going to get involved with?
Well, as chairman of the committee that controls the federal judiciary and those laws, in concert with the oversight committee that controls D.C., we'll change it if we need to, because it is the federal city, and it wasn't originally that way. We gave to the city some local control in hopes that it would benefit their citizens rather than being controlled directly by the Congress or a appointed governor by the Congress. We can take that back. Now, home rule is something I believe in, but home rule also requires that they not have crazy laws. And by the way, as far as I'm concerned, I think the U.S. Attorney, she's very smart, but I think we can work together and find that she does have enough authority to begin prosecuting at least a great many of these crimes.
So you're not there yet on trying to change the law, but you're going to have to see how it goes. Is that right?
We'll ensure that the law matches for the District of Columbia common sense and the need to clean it up the way the president has already done to a certain extent. But look, he can take the people off the streets. Keeping them off the streets in many cases requires prosecution. And I'll work with Jeanine Pirro happily to make sure she has the authority.
Congressman Darrell Issa, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.